Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Market Wrap. So I am back in Philly, back in the studio. Unfortunately, basically no sports to follow at this point, but this is kind of officially the time I start to watch college hoops. Can't wait for March Madness. It's middle of February, we got a month to go. Got to talk to my son Max to coach me up, learn who's going to be in the tournament this year, who I'm going to go after. Now, we had three very cool watches come across my desk this week, and the first one's an Audemars, but not your traditional Audemars. This is a 15707 Divers, but in ceramic. Really cool ceramic black case, little touch of orange on it, just an awesome piece, one of my favorites. You just don't see the Divers very often, so love to have that one in the collection. The second piece is a Vacheron Overseas, and over the last few months, we've talked about the Overseas. I've really started to fall in love with it. This is the second series, 49150. Big date, black dial, chrono, awesome piece, exceptional value, something I really highly recommend. And the last piece is a Patek Nautilus, but not a 5711, the 5712 1A, technically still made, but even though I'm not a huge Nautilus fan, it is my favorite of the collection. So overall, the market continues to strengthen. Trading is definitely super active. We've seen a real pickup in the Rolex OPs. The Tiffany dial, the green dial, the yellow dial, they are all rising in value and testing new highs. Now, I thought by now, being kind of 5-6 months since the intro, we would have seen these pieces come back to some semblance of reality, but they're heading in the other direction. The Tiffany blues are trading at double retail, yellows and greens not far behind. And as long as the supply remains tight, I expect we'll continue to see these trade at crazy multiples of retail. Now leave it to the crown to make the most interesting watch just out of a plain watch, make it the most collectible piece in the line. So the best news of last week was regarding the 5711 1A. Now by now, unless you live under a rock, I'm sure you've heard that Patek is discontinuing this model. Now this is the classic Nautilus, been out for a number of years. Thierry Stern confirmed to the New York Times that they'll be offering a final tribute piece to close the series. Everyone's assuming we'll have a different color dial, maybe a green, maybe a brown, and they're going to drive them through the boutiques. So we will see that come through, should come out in the next couple months. Now, he also confirmed that they will do a replacement piece in 2021. So we're all looking forward to the 6711. It was first reported that they would only sell these through the boutique, but now he's saying it will go through the regular distribution channel. So everybody's talking about what the new 6711 will be. A lot of talk about titanium, a lot of talk about a platinum version. These are all over the web. Hopefully we'll see something come out in the spring. The big question now becomes, so where does this leave the market? So as soon as the news spread that 5711 was gone, it went up like GameStop. It exploded overnight. All the listings on Chrono24 went up all over the internet. Pieces are now up at 110, 125. I even saw one this morning at 149. Now, while 5711 is an iconic Nautilus, this level makes no sense to me at all. The production numbers are not small. There was a lot of them produced over the years. Currently, there's 103 listed on Chrono24. That is not super rare. Now, while it's an awesome watch, one of the most iconic Pateks, I don't think they'll transact over 100,000. I expect once the market settles, people realize what's happening, more goods will hit the market because of the pricing, and we'll see a pullback on pricing. I would expect they'll settle over the next few months somewhere in that 80 to 95 range. Certainly not cheap, but they'll actively trade at those levels. Now, I believe everybody at some point in their life should own a Nautilus, but I think the market today is overheated, and I think we should wait to buy on the dip. Now, the other thing I started thinking about the 5711 is that's getting all the headlines, but what about the 5712? I would expect that they'll run through production for the rest of 2021, but it would make sense to me that they will discontinue that piece in 2022. Now, I have no inside information. This is just logically thinking it through. Last year, they killed the white dial Nautilus. This year, the blue one goes. Next year, I would not be surprised to see the 5712 go. And the 5712s you can actually source considerably cheaper than the 5711s. So if you're inclined to grab a Nautilus, the 5712 might be the play today and beat the 2022 run-up. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is what we are actively buying. We love Milgaus's. The Z Blue has become super collectible. Always looking to source those. The second piece is the Patek Aquanaut. Now, this is one of my least favorite Pateks, the 5167A, but it's in super demand. Steel, sport watches, rubber strap, super in demand, always looking for those. And the last piece is the Lange 1815 chrono, but specifically the black dial. Most of them we see are that silver dial, even the boutique edition with the blue numbers, but that white gold black dial, I'm always looking for. So that was this week's Market Wrap. Thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you next week.